Good morning, everybody. Okay, so I want to give a shout out to Anton Daniels on YouTube. He brought this story. This young lady, this young millennial who thinks she knows it all. Listen to her.
For conservatives that are consuming Fox News and they're being lied to is that they genuinely don't know what's going on.
The funny thing about it is we're not being lied to. You are. By the Democratic machine that you keep falling for it.
And I don't want to use that as like a cop out of like, oh, they don't even know, because half the time they like the cool things that everybody's like, do they not realize that this administration is racist? Do they not realize that this administration is hurting the poor? They know that. They know that, and they agree with it, and they want it to happen. But there's other things.
Okay, let's get back to the video.
That they genuinely just don't realize are happening. They don't know. I was on the phone with my grandmother, and I was telling her I was trying to calmly explain to her things so that she would like listen, and that it wasn't an argument, it was like a conversation to try to get through.
Now, what I gotta interject, because what she means by that is that she literally had a conversation with her grandmother and was browbeating her poor grandmother until her grandmother agreed with her just to shut her up. That's what that means, because anyone who has a millennial knows how that goes. They will literally argue the point that they are right, they are right, they are right. You are wrong, you are wrong, you are wrong. 100%, even if they are wrong, 100%.
And I explained, I was like, Donald Trump tore down, demolished the entire east wing of the White House. I was like, do you understand? I was like, that is American. Even like the Kennedy administration, when they wanted to remodel, the White House, they were going to tear down some walls to like re-put them up because
I hate to tell you, sweetie, that's what every single president has done, is remodel in some way. And it's not taxpayer funded, it's donor funded. So maybe have a brain before and actually do your own research and not just the internet.
Structure overall of the building just wasn't great. So they wanted it to stand the test of time, but they knew that Americans valued the history that the White House had behind it. So even then, they did not tear down those walls. They made an extra effort.
So they didn't tear down the walls because of history. Have you lost your ever-loving mind? No, they didn't tear down the East Wing because it didn't need to be remodeled at that point. Do you know anything about construction? You don't just rip out walls and put new walls up and call it good. No, you remodel them, you take them down, you put new ones up, you re-insulate things. There's a lot more involved than just tearing it down and putting it back up.
To build around it just to solidify the structure of that.
And no, they didn't build around it to solidify. Oh my God, this chick does not even know what the hell she's talking about. If you know nothing about construction, sweetie, don't comment on the construction part of it. You should be commenting on the financial aspect, the fact that it's getting done, fine. And just so you know, it is not taxpayer funded, because I keep hearing that. It's not. It's donor funded.
Building, because they knew the history of it. I told my grandmother, he has demolished the East Wing. It is no longer there. He's remodeling.
He is remodeling.
Since when in the hell is demolishing and completely getting rid of a building remodeling?
Okay, first of all, they got rid of the White House. When did that happen? I thought the White House was still standing in Washington, D.C. So they demolished the White House? When did that happen? Oh my goodness. We should do something about this. They didn't demolish anything. They took down the walls of the East Wing to remodel them and make it a larger space. Wow. You dipshit.
It's not being funded by taxpayers, it's being funded by donors, and he is remodeling. So it sounds like your grandmother.
All right, now we're going to skip a little ahead
And grab the doodle.
to the other part of her video because, I mean, it's just absolutely redundant that these young people today
Especially when it comes to differentiating.
actually believe this nonsense. With everything going on in the world.
Like, look!
Oh, hold on, guys, an ad.
Support your neck and spine before you buy another pillow.
Hold on one
Check
second,
this.
guys.
If you sleep in a position.
Like, look!
All right, before she starts plattering on again. With everything else going on in the world, all the wars, the violence on our streets, the crime, people going without benefits because of the Democratic Party shutting down our government, the wars, with everything going on, the most important thing to this young person, okay, with all of that. So it's not important that the SNAP wasn't being funded. It's not important that the government was shut down. No, not important at all. It was not important that there's violence in our streets and riots against ICE agents. That's not important. No, not important. But by God, all the wars going on, that's not important. What's happening over in the Middle East, that's not important. No. What's happening with Russia, that's not important. What's happening with Venezuela, that's not important. No. But what's really important to these young people is, by golly, Donald Trump is remodeling the White House. Oh my God. Do you hear yourself?
Like, it's gone! Like, it's literally...
The White House is not gone, sweetie. You be for real. You are brain dead. The White House is not gone. It is not completely destroyed. Wow.
Like, it's gone, and the entire oversight team that he had on it, he fired them!
Okay. That's within his rights to fire the oversight committee that he put in charge of it.
Last minute he fired them. She goes, well, why would he fire them? You tell me!
Do we look like we would have the answer to that? Why don't you ask the president why he fired him? Because I guarantee there's probably a good reason.
You tell me. And then I was telling her about the ICE raids and the excessive force and...
This is the part that I love. The ICE raids and the excessive force. Sweetie pie. First and foremost, the reason why there's excessive force being used is because Donald Trump got so fed up with his agents being attacked on the streets that he said, you make sure you come home to your family by any means necessary. Because there was a lady that literally was in a car. She was a passenger. There was a driver. They were driving up, and there was ICE agents that were detaining a man. They attempted to reach out of a moving vehicle and grab this man from ICE agents. Do you know how incredibly stupid, evil, and dumb that is, and dangerous to not only yourself, but to others around you? And yet this woman did this because they have no freaking brains. They have no brains. And then you wonder why they're using excessive force? They should use excessive force. They should use more force, if anything. Start locking them all up. If they interfere with ICE, you go to jail. Just like the new mayor of New York City said he's gonna block Trump and ICE agents from New York City. Good freaking luck. Look what happened in California when they did that. He just brought the military. You gonna take on the military, Mandami? Good luck with that. Because you will lose. You will lose, just like California lost. Just like Portland, Oregon, and the Antifa idiots, they lost too. And you will too. Why? Because us older conservatives, I'm going to leave off the white because that's just stupidity on her part. But older conservatives, guess what? We don't care anymore. We're tired of your nonsense.
Like, the way that these people are being brutalized by ICE
Good.
agents
Seems like they deserve
Only a
it.
very small percent are like actually any type of like real
Guess what? If you're being detained by ICE, it's because of a couple of different reasons. Number one, you're a criminal, illegal immigrant. You are in this country illegally. Number two, you're interfering with an active ICE agent job. Those are the only two reasons you get detained by ICE, sweetie. If you're not Group A or Group B, you got nothing to worry about. And if you are a part of Group A, I suggest you self-deport. If you're a part of Group B, I suggest you sit down and shut the hell up because we're done. Group A, by the way, was the illegal immigrants for those who didn't pick that up. Group B are the idiots like this who think that ICE agents are being mean.
criminals and how like American citizens, like people with that.
Okay, first of all, they're not detaining American citizens. The only way that an American citizen is being detained by ICE is if they actively interfered with an ICE agent's job. Okay, sweetie? They're not detaining American immigrants. American citizens. Guess what? That's what the Democrats are lying to you about to try to get you emotionally involved in the fight.
Like papers and everything, like they're being like detained and
They're being like, detained and like, This is the way teenagers talk when they don't know what they're talking about. Her fifis are hurt. That's it.
like brutalized. And she just
Okay, first of all, if people were being detained by ICE and then brutalized by them, do you honestly think that with the way the Democratic Party is today, do you honestly believe that that wouldn't be everywhere through every front page headline and every news story? Immigrants being brutalized by ICE agents in facilities. No. Why? Because it's not happening. You liar.
like didn't know.
She didn't know because it's not happening. You just lied to your grandma. You just lied to your grandma. You lied to your nana. You're going to hell for that.
And I told her about the White House video that was posted by the White House of the ICE raids and how the first clip of that was an ICE agent throwing up the Roman salute.
You're a dipshit. I am so sick of the whole Nazi-themed nonsense. You're stupid. Get a life, learn a lesson, and sit down and shut up, you young millennial, because you have no clue what you're talking about. First of all, I'm so tired of that. You young people don't have a clue or a conception of what you're talking about. This country was built on immigrants. Yes, legal immigrants. Do you think it's fair that these illegal immigrants who break into our country, who then get the services and stuff illegally that they should not be getting, that people who are doing it the right way, waiting to come into this country and become legal citizens who are doing it the right way, these illegals jump the line and jump in front of the people that are trying to do it the right way. Is that fair? Is that right? No, it's not. And if you were to do that in any other country, the only place that they would put you is a jail cell before they deport your ass. So stop with the Nazi nonsense because I'm sick of it. The world is sick of listening to you young people continuously comparing Trump to the worst villain in history. Okay? You're brain dead. Bubbleheads. Stop it. Your parents, Gen Xers, why? What did we do? It's like infected. You want to know what the difference between our generation and this stupid millennial generation, and no offense, guys, because I know it's not all millennials, but there's a good majority. You want to know why? The internet. I swear, how many Gen X parents are out there that literally see their kids going on the internet and Google searching health conditions. And they suddenly have all of these problems. They have ADHD, they have autism, they have this, they have that, they have this, they have that, they have this disorder, that disorder. Come on, no you don't. You have the internet disorder. Stop looking shit up. I tell my kids that all the time. Stop looking up shit on the internet because it's not right. You want to know where that information comes from? From other people, you idiots.
It was the first clip, clear as day. I'm not gonna mimic
I'm
him.
telling you, bro, Democrats have more propaganda and is more easily swayed than any Republican.
It's all propaganda. All propaganda. We are tired of it. Stop it. ICE agents are good. And they're doing their jobs. And we stand for ICE agents. And guess what? If you don't stand for ICE agents, sit down, shut up, and get the hell out of the country. Bye. See ya. Don't want to be ya. Join Rosie O'Donnell and go to Ireland and live there. Because we don't want you here. Infecting more people with your nonsense. Okay?
Republican that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's crazy, bro.
But he fully did it. And that wasn't even something that you could misinterpret. Oh, he was actually it wasn't like the Elon thing where somebody could be like, oh, well, he actually was doing. No, he fully did it.
I want you to show me the video where he full on did a Nazi salute because that's bullshit. She's lying. He never did that. Also, for all you Trump haters, he is the only president, to my knowledge, that did both terms, did not take his presidential salary. He didn't do it when he was president the last time, and he didn't take it now. Only president in history that did not take his presidential salary. And yet, you people talk like that about him. Now, I'm not full on Trump, MAGA, but it's ridiculous. The nonsense, the disrespect that these people have for the leader of the free world. Regardless how you feel. Your fifis don't matter. Okay? I know the conversation she had with her grandma because I've had a similar conversation with my daughter. And what that means is she wasn't calmly explaining. Anytime her grandmother said something, she would come back with, and would fight her grandmother until the grandmother finally got so frustrated with the phone call that the grandmother went, you know what, sweetie, you're right. Whatever you say, just please stop talking. That's pretty much how that conversation went, because that's how my conversations always go with my daughter who's in Maine. Not that I don't love her to death, but she has no concept or clue of what she's talking about. So, but if you try to explain that to them, they don't get it. It's like they got the block of stupid up or something. So what you do then is just go, oh, yes, sweetie, you're right, sure. Whatever you say, yeah, Donald Trump is bad, yeah. Just to shut them up. And Gen X, this is our fault, because this is the millennials, which is, I have 3 millennials, 2 girls and a boy, and 1 Gen Z. And I can tell you, I didn't raise my millennial children to think the way they think, and yet they still do. Wonder what's changed. Oh, the internet. Now we have platforms like TikTok where people like this dipshit little lady gets on and spews all this nonsense that isn't true, not even close, because the White House is not destroyed. The White House is not down and out. The White House still stands. Throwing a temper tantrum over nothing. And lying full on with her full chest, lying about ICE agents That's pretty much all I can take of her nonsense anyway. But full on lying about ICE agents. Okay, first, there are two things. If you are being detained by ICE, there are one of two reasons only. Number one, you're an illegal immigrant that does not belong in this country. And number two, you are actively interfering with the ICE agent's job, in which case you deserve to be locked up. I'm getting so tired of hearing about how these ICE agents go in to pick up an illegal immigrant or a few illegal immigrants, and they are being surrounded and attacked. And then they're the bad guys when they react. Screw that. So Trump said, you come home to your families by any means necessary. And guess what? Now they're doing the any means necessary. You want to know whose fault it is? It's people like the woman that literally tried to grab an illegal immigrant from an ICE agent through her moving vehicle. I don't know if her husband or who it was that was driving, but she was on the passenger side. She reaches out through her window, through her car door that she opened while the car was in motion, to try to grab a person. What were you going to do? Grab him and pull him into your lap, you dipshit? I mean, people are so stupid. They really are. And then they wonder why our country is so screwed up because of people like that. People like this young lady who does not have any knowledge. Where does she get it? From the leftists and TikToks and all that nonsense. You want to know what the difference between our generation and Gen Z and Gen X? The internet. We spent our time on our bikes, in our tree houses, in our forts, in empty buildings that we weren't supposed to be in, chasing boogeymen and all this other stuff, using our imaginations. What do our kids are doing? The millennials and Gen Zs? Click, click, click. Everything is about the clicks. TikTok, Instagram, all these platforms. We should have never allowed our children the access to the internet until they graduate high school. And I'll tell you why. Because they look up everything. My daughter has a sniffle. She looks it up. Meanwhile, you don't think that there's 50 other things that could be wrong for one symptom. It's, common sense. I remember a situation in which my daughter literally was having some issues. So she looked up her symptoms. It gave her a list of like 10 different things, all of them horrible. And I was like, why don't you just go to a damn doctor? Well, if I know what's going on. No, if you know what's going on, then you go to the doctor and you tell the doctor what you read off the internet. And the doctor rolls his eyes and goes, oh, I hate that. Because doctors hate when you self-diagnose. That's what they're paid for. And the whole renovating the White House, I'm tired of that nonsense too. That is not coming from tax dollars. That's coming from donor money, okay? And every president has remodeled the White House in some fashion. Whether it was a small project or a big one, they all come in and they leave their mark. It's their right as the president, okay? But no, the White House isn't being torn down. The East Wing isn't gone completely. The White House isn't gone completely. And as dramatic as all that. No, they're just remodeling. And they're doing it with donor money, not taxpayer money. There's the big difference between the Republicans and the Democrats. Is the Democrats always use our money. The Republicans always use rich people money. See the difference? When you vote for a man who has friends and high connections to all these multi-billionaires, you don't bash him. You make him your friend. Why? Because he can do a lot for you. When you have somebody who is broke ass, nothing, and can't do shit for you, you make that person your friend? Why? What are they doing for your life to make your life better? No, nothing. But that's where these people aren't thinking. Donald Trump, a billionaire. All his cronies and friends, multi-billionaires. You make those people your friends, not your enemy. Because they're the ones that can get things done. They're the ones that donate $100 million to the cause to rebuild the White House. Okay? Stop looking things up and stop listening to lies. And no, not all older conservative people watch Fox News and only get their information from Fox News. I don't know if her grandmother does, but I feel bad for her grandma, because if that poor woman had to listen to her talk. And the sad part about it is she loves her, so she goes, of course, sweetie, whatever you say, when she doesn't really believe that. Just like when my kids continuously, I just do this and shake my head and go, you know what, sweetie, whatever. Because they're not listening, because they don't listen. Because they've already been brainwashed by the Democrats. They've already been brainwashed by the machine. And the funny thing about it is they don't realize that they're being brainwashed by the very people that caused all of it. And still continue to cause it. Hello? The Schumer shutdown. It wasn't called that for no reason. Just like Mandami promised all this free shit. Can't deliver on any of it. None. No free buses. No free universal child care. No free health care. He can't deliver on that. Because the governor was like, no. I'm not stupid enough to do that, because that will destroy any shot of re-election. And she knows that. Governor Hochul knows that. She's aware of that. Because the one thing New Yorkers hate is when you lie to us. There's a lot that we'll put up with. We'll look at the stuff that's going on in the city and we'll go, whatever, it's foolishness. And we shake our head and we go on about our day. But the one thing New Yorkers all have in common is we hate being lied to. And when you lie to us and we find out, you're done. And yeah, he lied to every single New Yorker. Governor Hochul already told us she would not raise taxes on anyone. So, for him to say that, guess what? He was wrong. He lied. And that's the funniest part, is that what people don't realize is this man lied to get elected. And now that he's elected, I mean, look at his victory speech. He bashed Trump to the point where he literally said, turn up the volume, or turn up the heat or something, or turn up the temperature, whatever he said. That's the main point. He said something like that. And then 2 days later, he's like, well, I very much need the administration in order to do anything. No fucking duh. No duh, Mandami. Of course you need the president. Because New York relies on government funding, federally government funding. And guess what? When you piss off the administration, you don't get that funding. See, the government doesn't have to give you funding. Just like the government doesn't have to give out SNAP benefits. Just like the government doesn't need to pay your rent for you. With EBT and Section 8 and all that other stuff. They don't have to do any of that. It's not a law. It's not a right. As much as you people would like to think it's a right, it's not a right. You don't have the right to a home. You don't have the right to food. That's not a human right, or not a constitutional right. It's a human right. It's not a constitutional right. In other words, it's not a law. The government isn't required by law to give you anything. They do it, yes. They give federal funding to states all the time. They're not required to do it. That's what I mean by that. Okay? So maybe start playing nice with the administration. Because when you have a multi-billionaire who has multi-billionaire friends, they're not the ones you want to piss off. Okay? Because then you get things like this. You get stories like this one. This is what people don't get. New York City people, especially. And it's not the older New York Cityers. No, not people like me who are my age. No. It's the young people that came into the city that are destroying it. The college people that go to Columbia. All those woke idiots. All those people that moved into the city with their little yuppiness that are now destroying the very fabric of that city. And they don't get it because they don't know, because they didn't live in the city. They're not born and raised in New York. They don't know. But they wanted all this free shit. They wanted a handout. Guess what? You don't get a handout. Nothing in life is free. This is what people need to understand. The SNAP program was never a requirement. It was a out of the goodness of their heart thing, basically. And the government isn't required to give you shit. They're not required to pay your rent. They're not required to fund SNAP benefits. Is it the right thing to do? Yes. Will they do it? Yeah. Do they have to do it? No. You should never rely on a system that can literally flip the switch and take away food from your table or money from your pocket. Maybe have a brain. Now, I've been there, done that. A lot of Gen Xers have been there, done that. These young people will learn the hard way, unfortunately, because I've tried talking to my kids. And when it comes to politics, we pretty much agree to disagree and leave politics off the table. Because of the fact that the moment my daughter starts spewing nonsense about woke this or Donald Trump this or this, that, and the other, no, I don't. We don't talk about it. We let it go. I even tell her, don't bring that up. Because, Mom's feelings about it. I don't agree with you. I think people should be deported that are not in this country legally. We literally had the feds stop a sleeper cell just this past weekend that were planning something. This is why people need to be vetted and checked. That's why. Because we have people who want to see America fall that sneak into this country. They're like the Iranian sleeper cells and stuff like that. That's why people need to be vetted and checked. That's why you don't have an open border. It's to protect the sovereignty of our nation. And that's what people don't get. Sadly. If you're in this country illegally, either two things. You got two choices here. Two options. Option A, get legal. Option B, get out. Those two options. They just built another alligator Alcatraz. Yay. Good. I want 20 more. That's what I voted for. And you want to know why? Because I don't have a problem with immigrants. But there are people who are waiting, who have been waiting to come into this country the legal way. And they're not allowed. Why? Because you got people who are flooding this country, jumping the gates, and flooding in here illegally and refusing to become legal citizens. You don't want to be in this country legally? Then leave. It's that simple. Otherwise, become a citizen and then acclimate. Because how many times, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have pride for the nation you're from, but if your nation was so wonderful, why did you come here? Because I see so many people that come from, I don't know, like Venezuela or I don't know, wherever they come from, and they're waving their flags above our flags. They're waving their nation's flag from the country that they just came from above our flags, over our flags. That's fine. You want to wave your flag and show pride, that's fine. But why did you come here? If that nation that you came from was so wonderful that you have that much pride that you want to display your flag, why did you come here? Maybe think about that. Because what we have currently is people that flood through this country, refuse to become legal citizens, and then we're the bad guys when we say, get out. You're not welcome when you're not legally here. No, I'm sorry. I'm done with that nonsense. We're not the bad guys. The bad guys are the illegal immigrants that come across our borders and bypass the system that people who are good, hardworking people who are just trying to come here to get a better life, they get left out because of the people that come here illegally. They get left out. They get pushed back. There's no more room. Why? Because all these illegals who snuck through the gate through Biden's administration. I mean, come on. Come on, people. Use your brain cells. It doesn't take a lot. Stop listening to your fifis. Stop listening to TikTok and actually do your own research. I think you might be surprised. Just like now, we all know illegal immigrants are not supposed to be allowed to work in the country because they have no documentation. You are not allowed to work within the United States without that documentation, which means they are not taxpayers. They are not paying taxes. Because if they're paying taxes, that means somebody's breaking the law. Okay? So they're not tax-paying citizens. No. They are here illegally. They get free government assistance, which people were literally going up to Mamdani and telling him, from my understanding, I saw a video a couple of days ago where people were going up to Mamdani, the illegal immigrants, and telling them, without government assistance, they can't stay. Bye. That's not what that system was built for. First of all, they're not even supposed to be getting any assistance. None. Healthcare? Nope. Food stamps? Nope. Section 8? Definitely not. Not supposed to be receiving any of them. And yet they do. Just like they're not supposed to be getting driver's licenses. But they do. Just like tragically, there was a man who was an illegal immigrant who was driving a freaking 18-wheeler and literally decided to pop a Yui on a highway in Florida. Robbing 3 people of their family. Robbing a family of 3 people. How did he get his CDL? He bought it. Governor of California, I thought, was handing them out like candy canes, apparently. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. That's allegedly. But honestly, they should definitely check into it. Oh, and Governor Newsom, don't run for president, dude. You got no shot. Nobody likes you. You are the most unpopular man in history next to Trump. And I'm just saying that this, come on, guys. Stop. Otherwise, you're not going to have a country to actually live in. Okay? So listen to your older conservative parents and your older conservative grandparents, because I guarantee that they actually lived it already. And if you don't listen to them, you're not going to have a country. Because the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to end up destroying the very fabric of the country that your grandparents worked so hard to build. So maybe think about that, millennials. Okay? And that's coming from a mom of 3 millennials. Use your brains. Don't just rely on the internet for information. Talk to people. And it doesn't even have to be your parents or your family members. Talk to strangers on the streets that are just older conservative people and see what they say. Because you know what? They all can't be wrong. They all can't be wrong. They're not all liars. But amazingly enough, when confronted, a Democratic leader will always evade, distract, and basically do whatever they can to avoid. You never see a conservative doing that. Only Democrats. Why is that, do you think? Anyway, guys, again, shout out to... Oh, hold on 1 second. Sorry. Shout out to Anton Daniels on YouTube. Show him the respect, give him the love, and give him the like. And while you're at it, like and subscribe here as well. It really helps the channel grow. I really appreciate all my subscribers. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. We're almost to 80, and once we get to 80, we can finally go live. And when we go live, we're going to do something fabuloso. So don't worry, have fun, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day today. And remember, do something kind. One random act of kindness can change the world. Peace out, Cub Scouts. We love you.